So we are Grain. We're just coming here today to show you our pitch for our music video. My name is Tom.
My name's Nathan.
My name is James.
So our proposed music track. So our music track is for Biffy Clyro's Clyro Stink. The concept of style of this music video will be a sort of a young boy with a complete lyric interpretation of the song. So what I mean by this is that throughout the whole entire music video, the boy will be miming, dancing, singing, whatever throughout the whole track to lyrically interpret whatever is happening within the song. And because of this will be in a sort of realistic style, so it won't have any special effects or anything like that, or any colour matter. Yeah. So because this is going to be sort of like, because of the nature of the song, it's going to be sort of like a fast-paced, quick shots, sort of jump cuts, dashing all over the place, sort of style. And it will also have an added raw undertone, which will make it relatable to other audiences. The reasons why we did this was mainly because it doesn't already have a music video, so it's easy to add to. So there's no expectations to live up to or anything like that. And it also matches the tone of the song. So in Clyro Stink, it is very fast-paced. There's a lot of beats. There's a lot of riffs and all sorts of stuff. So it matches. So our concept matches that sort of style well, and we also just all really enjoy the song. So our target audience, it doesn't really necessarily have a target demographic. They'll basically be general fans of Biffy Clyro. So this tends to be around everyone, males and females, around about age 13 up, as you can get much older fans. And yeah, so then that is the amount of time when people start getting into music. And as I said before, there's no gender statistics. Biffy Clyro have many fans around the world, so it won't necessarily need to cater to one certain genre, so it won't need it to make it excessively girly or excessively boisterous or anything like that. We can just make it as a general general target audience. So our planning documents. Our planning documents include our storyboard, which can be found inside your pitch pack, which Kate gave you earlier. And as you can see throughout the storyboard, that the shots are direct lyric interpretations. So in the song it says dance if you want to dance, and again you can see the boy is dancing. Then the next frame it says sleep if you want to sleep, and it immediately goes to a boy lying on the floor well, effectively as he's sleeping in the shot. And this is a very erratic change, but this is the complete lyric interpretation that we decided to go with. So as you can see again, so later on in the storyboard it goes, congratulations on marrying this clown. So he's wearing a clown nose and all that sort of stuff. So burn if you want to burn, he's got a lighter. There's all sorts of stuff that goes into that. So our shooting script is sort of the checklist throughout our filming. And as you can see from here is that it is all a canal of daytime. There is only one location, and this because of the jump cuts. We don't want to be really moving any other locations, and we'll just be going through each shot one after the other as the song is going through with the lyrics.
Our location.
I'm now past your escape.
Our location. We've chosen to film Loughborough Canal. It's situated near Bishop Meadow Lock in Loughborough. It's at the back of Derby playing fields. It has a consistent background in the section we want to film in, because it's kind of like a long kind of walkway, and we think it would look good because obviously if we're using different shots, it's going to be the same background. It's going to look kind of more consistent. It's not that busy there either. It's quite secluded, and especially in the time of day when we're filming, we're going to film like kind of like 9, 10 in the morning, and there's not going to be as many people around at that time. We kind of just felt it would fit our style as well, because all of the kind of inspired music videos we saw use kind of like rural kind of like locations sort of like this, so we feel that kind of like fit in a bit. Yeah, it's got pedestrian access and car parking, 3 different places, and it's just outside town, so it's quite accessible. Yeah, so it's viable to kind of shoot there. With our location being on the canal there, however, there's obviously going to be a lot of different hazards and risks. We've highlighted these risks and written them down and formatted them into a table, which you can see. This table is in the handout as well that we've provided. We identified the individual hazards and looked at the hazards they were, how they'd affect our work and how hazardous they were. We then made sure we put in the appropriate control measures to make sure they didn't occur. One of our unique selling points of our music video is the element of having a young child. He's the star focus in the music video. When we were doing our competitor analysis, we saw that while our competitors' similar music videos starred adults and the main focus was the adults, there wasn't really any variation. We felt this was a little bit bland and repetitive, so we thought we'd make ours stand out by using Cheeky Young Boy as its lead. We thought it would make it more charming and funnier. We also thought that using a child would kind of extend our target demographic to both older and younger, is they would either have children or be children, so it kind of like wider our target audience rather than just kind of going for the genre. But obviously, using a young child would bring lots of hazard with it, let alone adding kind of water into the equation. As part of the risk assessment, we assigned a chaperone for the child. So the chaperone, which is me, as I'm most familiar with the child, and then the other two can kind of get on with the more practical stuff, and I can kind of just like oversee. The chaperone will have the child's welfare as priority, and will monitor and prevent the child from getting into any harm any times. Our influences. When exploring and developing our ideas, we found that a few different examples of music videos and even a film influenced our creative idea. Lynn Ramsey's Ratcatcher is quite relevant, although it's a film and not a music video. We liked it because of the cinematography and the kind of style of the film. The film is about a kind of like, it's like a raw drama, which is what we kind of wanted to incorporate into our music video. It's based around a 12-year-old boy. I really like the aesthetics and the locations. The main location used is kind of like the canal, it's kind of based around that a little bit. I really like the two kind of represented together, and it kind of just shown us that the young boy and the canal can kind of really work well together, and it can create like a nice desired effect. Influential music videos. We've highlighted 5 different music videos that inspired us. The Black Keys, Tighten Up. The video is kind of based on young children lip syncing. It's very sweet and kind of funny video. Yeah. The Avalanche is because of me. Again, the video is based on a charismatic child kind of singing, and it's just kind of corny but cute. Yeah, we kind of like to replicate kind of the charm and the sweet side into our music video, because ours is a young boy lip syncing as well, so it's kind of like similar. Young Father Shane, we like this because there's lots of different varieties of shots within the one kind of just one tracking shot. It was like all it was a guy running, but there was so many different angles, so many different like, kind of places it was shot from. So we just like the variation of the angles. Jamie T. Sheila. This also used lip sync as well, but with this one it's kind of like a long tracking shot, but people come in and kind of replace the guy and lip sync themselves. So it's kind of like interesting because it's not just focused on the one guy lip syncing. Stormzy's Know Me From. This one again, one long tracking, lip syncing one. The camera pans away on this one, kind of shows you like things that aren't in shot. Shows you like other bits in the foreground that are kind of relevant to the lyrics. Yeah, we've kind of just taken inspiration from all of these, incorporated them into our idea, and we believe that's what gave us kind of like our creative idea. So yeah, I'll now hand you over to my colleague James to talk about the technical side.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so talking about the technical aspects, so first I'm going to go through the camera. So the camera that we're going to be using is only one camera, so it's a single camera, it's a Nikon D3200. We are borrowing it from college, so this has its own perks as it does its downs, so obviously we'll save money, so we don't have to buy our own camera. But however, if we lose, break or damage the camera, we'll have to pay for any kind of things that we may have caused. Another thing about the camera is that it's quite flexible with its lens, so we can, if we change the lens, we can get higher quality shots when shooting different types of shots, so close-ups and long shots, and like the tracking shots when we actually film. Moving on to the tripod and the dolly that we're going to be using. So we're using the standard tripod that college will also hire from college. Not all of our shots will be handheld, so this helps for some of the shots which will be steadier. And in addition to the tripod, we were thinking about possibly making our own kind of dolly kind of thing, where we could stand the tripod on, so we can still film the smooth shots, but like the tracking shots from the influential music videos that we might want to replicate, we can still film it with it being kind of still and not having it shaking around as much like the handheld shots. Talking about the software, so the first software I'll speak about is After Effects, and the reason that we'll be using After Effects is to add things such as color correction, to desaturate the clips and add contrast and possibly lower the brightness to kind of, because obviously it's kind of like, it's a Biffy Clyro song, so it's kind of like, it's hard to explain, but I would put into words, but it's just kind of like dullish, but obviously we still want to keep the element, so we wouldn't desaturate it too much. And also like to add motion blur, which is it kind of just touches it up and makes it look nicer in the final thing, so obviously it just adds a smooth blur to when the camera kind of pans around or something such as that. And I'll use my laptop for this because college doesn't have these plugins, whereas my laptop's After Effects does. And then obviously render out each clip after they've been edited. Moving on after that, we would go into Premiere Pro and add the song, and then we would add the clips and sync them up with the song as we go forth. And that would be the part where we did the assembly edit, where we stitch everything together and make it all one production before finally exporting it from Premiere. These are just some rough ideas or examples of effects that I had made when I was just experimenting with different color corrections. So as you can see on the top left, that's the original photo that Tom had taken when he was scouting out the location for Loughborough Canal. And the bottom left is one that has added color correction and desaturation, and the middle right is an image with desaturation with the same color correction and desaturation, but it also has added effects including blur streaks off of the sky and glint glow effect to sort of just brighten it up and make it a bit more happier, I guess, like, or jolly because of the child obviously, so it brightens it a bit. These are only debatable effects, however, because obviously we can't have that throughout the whole video, the streaks coming out of the sky, because it would just sort of look off with everything. So maybe have it in only a few shots. And also I've said there possibly include a flicker, and that is just a subtle effect there, so you can see there's a small GIF, and it is just sort of a subtle vignette effect which sort of just fades in and out, and it's quite subliminal and hard to see, so it wouldn't be too distracting when watching the final thing. I'm now going to talk about the schedule and explanation. So this consists of our Gantt chart. So as you can see here, it's only a small portion of the Gantt chart, but the full Gantt chart is on the board right there. So if you'd like to have a look at it, then by all means go ahead and have a look after this. It contains the deadlines and their corresponding dates. So obviously there's along the top the dates in weeks, so in 7 days. It goes in depth on tasks, so you can see how we've come to accomplish certain tasks. So it might say what steps we've taken in order to achieve a certain task. We use it as like a schedule sheet as well, so we can keep track of things, and it also marks the holidays. As you can see there, it marks the half term, and it also marks the Easter holidays as well in the full version, which we would use for contingency time if we need to catch up with anything. Underneath the Gantt chart is a explanation paragraph which sort of tells you how the color coding works, and you can see that there is a black mark for one of the colours. This black marks indicate our deadlines, so we know which ones can be our deadlines. Okay, so the permission and the release forms. Okay, so the first permission form is for the Charnwood Council, and these are the ones who sort of maintain Loughborough in general, like the areas around Loughborough. So we'd obviously ask for permission to film on their canal. So it's a formal letter with reasons as to why we wish to use the canal. Obviously, we like to film a music video, and we believe that it's the prime area that we would like our music video for. And then we would obviously we've assured them that we've taken like all the health and risk, like the safety and the risk elements into consideration before we actually wanted to go film there. The second form, it is to Biffy Clyro directly, and I was debating on writing another letter, kind of like the first, kind of like a formal sense, but when I was looking around to try and find the contact details, I came across the website, and on the website they have a contact me tab, which lets you actually contact the managing team and the manager directly. So I figured this would be a lot more efficient than simply mailing them, because in the long run, obviously, we don't have to pay for posting a letter, and we don't have to wait. It saves us time, so we don't have to wait for the letter to go, from our letter to go, and then maybe then to see it, and then it to come back. So it saves us a lot more time, and it's way more efficient than just going through a simple letter. And I would like to hand you back to my colleague Tom, who will talk about distribution and exhibition.
So for the terms of distribution and exhibition, we've decided to go with YouTube and Facebook as our main platforms. This is mainly due to the demographic, the target demographic being mainly on Facebook, social media, etc., etc. But we'd also like to use the other forms of social media like Instagram and Twitter, and maybe even Snapchat as teaser platforms. So we'd release sort of like a teaser clip and release it onto those sub-platforms. That would get more coverage and more people interested, so they'd go to see the full video on either YouTube or Facebook. We chose YouTube as well, as it is the biggest and probably the main distributor of online video on the whole internet, and everyone will use it. It's very accessible, and everyone will just be able to find what they're looking for there. In terms of James's permission forms, if we do not hear back from Biffy Clyro if they grant us permission, we will just simply choose to unmonetize the video. This basically means that no ads or any revenue will be made from the video, and that means it can still be published even though it has a copyright on it. Although if we do get a grant from, if we do get permission from Biffy Clyro, we can then monetize the video and share the royalties with the intended the original artists. Thank you for listening.